Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is on his way to Spain for the NATO summit. The meeting of world leaders will discuss the war in Ukraine and a new strategic alignment between Russia and China. Live to Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, why is this meeting so significant?
Danica, we've seen NATO invite 4 Asia-Pacific nations to attend this summit, which will be held in coming days in Madrid. That's why this is deemed to be more significant than usual. It won't just be focused on Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine, but also there is a clear signal that NATO wants to look at issues broadly in the Indo-Pacific as well. Read into that the role of China and their potential intentions in the region. We've seen Australia, New Zealand, Japan and South Korea invited to attend these crucial talks. So Anthony Albanese in the air as we speak, on the way to Madrid. He also has an opportunity as a part of his 3rd trip overseas in just over the month he's been in the top job to meet other world leaders. This includes the head of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg. There's going to be a meeting there, as well as a meeting with the EU Commissioner. He's got a chance for some face-to-face meetings too with other prime ministerial counterparts, including Justin Trudeau from Canada, Boris Johnson in the United Kingdom. This well-publicised trip to Paris is going to take place towards the end of this week, where Emmanuel Macron has invited Anthony Albanese. A bit of repairing of the relationship will be done there after that pretty brutal assessment Mr Macron made towards Scott Morrison's predecessor, Anthony Albanese's predecessor, and this question mark around the issue of Ukraine. Will we see a prime ministerial visit to Kiev? Is still a question mark given the security situation. Anthony Albanese made it clear yesterday on the tarmac he doesn't want to endanger Australian Defence Force personnel, but there is a live option that this will happen. Here's the Prime Minister before leaving Sydney yesterday on the importance of this meeting.
The people of Ukraine are doing the democratic world an enormous service. But it's important that democratic nations stand with Ukraine, and that's the context of this NATO summit. It's also the case that Russia and China, their arrangements and closeness that has occurred in recent times, means that it's also very important for our region.
And Trudy, the opposition leader has announced his first policy proposal. What is it?
Danica, this would be about allowing pensioners to work more before they have part of their pension cut back. At the moment, you can earn $300 per fortnight, but Mr Dutton is proposing to double that to $600. He said it would be good for the economy to get more older Australians to work more hours if they want to. This was not something that the Morrison government ever actually implemented. There was talk during the campaign that this could be looked at if Scott Morrison had been re-elected. Mr Dutton asked this morning, why didn't you do it in government? Why is it such a good idea suddenly when you're in opposition? He says it's about the changed economic circumstances.
Well, Pete, the previous government obviously made a decision not to do it, largely, I suspect, because the prevailing economic conditions and labour market aren't what they are today. We're talking about high inflationary environment, we're talking about higher interest rates, we're talking about a very tight labour market. Here, if you're a pensioner, an aged pensioner or a veteran on a pension and you choose to work, then my judgment is that there are businesses who desperately need you to fill those shifts, but also that you shouldn't be taxed out of consideration.
It does come with a cost though, and we'd have to work through some of those. But we have a range of ideas. We've got our own election policies that we'd like to roll out in the October budget.
Nationals leader David Littleproud this morning said the cost of this policy would be around $300 million over 4 years. Labor have not ruled it out, as you heard there from Katie Gallagher, but the indication is they want this to be part of the broader discussion about jobs at a summit that's expected to be held in September, Danica.